So we got a little bit to talk about before we get on to this new short series. I'm just feeling solid, and these games are going to have a solid nature to them. Just going to play live and see how we do. But things have been happening recently in Florida. We just completed the Florida State Championship over Labor Day weekend. Congratulations to Grandmaster Julio Becerra. I've worked with Julio on numerous occasions, and we even have a video where he was gracious enough to come to the school that I worked at the time, Franklin Academy, and play against the kids, and we played a few games. Julio's stand-up guy, and in the future you can expect to see a series where I go over some of his best games. And some people have been asking for certain content. We will have more of the amateur analysis games coming up. I want to produce a series for Grandmaster Becerra in honor of his winning the Florida State Championship. And I also want to mention, and it'll be linked down in the bottom, another YouTube channel because I want to show some support to another Florida native. This was the first state championship he had missed in 20 years because he and his wife have moved over to Spain. And this is FM Corey Acor, and I want to show some love and support on his journey to get higher titles. So if you would, pop down to his channel, just give him a like, motivation. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in the pool, and hopefully we can get a game relatively quickly, and my settings won't bother people terribly. Well, as we're waiting, so I'm thinking for this series I'm going to be playing d4 with white and mostly playing just exchange variations and solid positions. I guess anything aggressive like Kings, Indians, Dutches, you just play solid fianchetto systems and don't worry too much about the positions. With black against e4, I'm thinking Carl and don't get in any fancy variations, just like I said, super ultra solid. And pretty much against anything else, go with kind of an e6 d5 flavor and just get solid. So what's going on? Let's bump down the rating range a bit so maybe we can get a game faster. All right. And to the people who are anxiously awaiting my new book with Chessable, I've been doing a lot of work with Chessable, and it's come. No worries. I'm actually taking a week off of work pretty soon to do nothing but grind to get that book finished. Very, very excited to unveil not only the book, but what I have been working on for so long. I feel like I'm the type of author that puts something out every 6 months, but I'm thinking about going back in and putting a fresh coat of paint on my older courses and recording, say, opening oddities. That's been something on my to-do list for the better part of a year, and I just recently went back in and had an update. Why am I not getting a game? Is it this hard to get a game at this time? I don't think it was that late. All right. This is the kiwi apple flavor of the Red Bull. I'm just saying, it gives you wings. I'm gonna need them. All right, I'm gonna pause the video, I guess. Oh. See, I knew as soon as I said I was going to do something, it was going to change for me, and then, so like I said, solid systems, and that looks solid. You want to trade? No. And this very much reminds me of a colors reverse French defense, so I'm just going to get some space over here, and I feel right at home. Interesting. I really want to play c5 and just Seems like the thing to do. It's not my favorite way to play, but I was wanting to get the bishop developed. Probably bishop takes f3, bishop takes f3, and then knight c4 was the way to go for him there. But now I'm starting to like my position again because I've got some ideas. He does have a5 to undermine the structure at some juncture, but I am overall liking our position. Got some b5 ideas now. Slow and steady. With the pin. And I was thinking about this. This way I can bother some key squares, and we'll just go for this and see if we can't invade some. Makes a lot of sense. And let's go there. Flexible. Maybe rook f4 is coming. Where's the knight going if... I just ask. You take the free pawn. Yeah, that's what you do. Helps if I don't play bad chess. Yeah, now h4 is probably becoming an issue. Queen f4, queen takes, pawn takes, rook d8. Okay, if the queens trade, I can at least get a square for... Yeah, I just played poorly here. At least we're hitting the c-pawn. And his ideas after takes there. So let's try to mix it up some, see if we can't confuse, because when you get a busted position, you have to try to flail and do something. Now I'm feeling a lot more comfortable about my drawing chances here because I'm clearly not winning. You just have to pick up the pace and get back in the game. Seems like a good place. Keep an eye on the pawn. And Dropskis. You get lucky sometimes when you're just playing chess, and yeah, understandably my 2400 rated opponent was really upset with himself and disconnected there. We'll wait for the claimed victory, and let's do a little bit of analysis here because clearly I botched this early. And my opponent used an interesting move order out of the opening here. I'll turn off the engine until I need it. With d6. Normally on c6 you see d5 followed up. And this is kind of old Indian system. And as you can see in the database, white does very, very well. I mean, g4 is interesting. I didn't even consider that because, again, I'm like solid Mr. Natural. But this goes right along with the ideas in the position. I feel like you got the bishop pair. You got some open files to work with. This is probably best play. But, like I said, I'll just go in for solid. And now I'm actually getting curious in here. Bishop a3 it liked a lot better. It wants mass liquidation here. And C takes E2. And it likes black because of the extra pawn. Makes sense. So C5 was overzealous, and here I needed to go this route. Because potentially the queen is misplaced. Well, something similar to what we had in the game. Alright. And yeah, like as soon as I played it, that just seemed annoying. And black's just much better there. So my first game was not exactly a success by any means. E4. Look for that opportunity to change the pawn structure in a favorable way. But again, thinking solid, playing not so solid. And we're starting to get favorable position. Rook FD1 made a lot more sense to stop this idea. And I needed to play Rook H4 because this is just busted. Wow, yeah. Rook D8. Where's the knight going? Easy win for black there. And again, easy win for black here. Just technique can be a tough thing. So I played like absolute garbage in this first game at an attempt at being solid, but you know, you have to stay optimistic because as soon as I got to this position, I felt fine again. And then, of course, I feel completely fine there. All right, so that's one to start things off.